Hey guys, welcome to today's pick a card. Today we have 5 piles, messages from your guides. This is pile number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Please feel free to pause and meditate on these piles, see which one you are called to, and I will get started. Hey, pile number 1. So this is for everybody who chose the Lepidolite. The overall energy for your spread, we have the Lovers, Source, and clinging to the past. So the Lovers for me is always about coming into balance within yourself. Once we can love ourselves, sorry, my cats are playing. Once we can love ourselves, we can find somebody who loves us just the same way. And it sounds kind of cheesy, but you always have to love yourself first. And you always have to know that you're not alone, that you're surrounded by love. Even if you can't see it, if you can feel it, then that's how you know it's there. Cling to the past. This card is so interesting to me because it looks like she's just got like so much going on in her head, in this square head of hers, like so rigid, linear, and it's like the colors. She's wearing a green dress, and she's like trying to, I would imagine, think of different ways of viewing her situation, but all within the confines of this green dress that she's wearing. So like she's still kind of thinking in the same way, so clinging to the past. But outside of this box, there's another box, but it's a little bit different. It looks a little bit calmer. And outside of that box is like an infinite, I would say, source. The universe, your guides, help is all around you, love is all around you. In this Lover's card, you can see that there's another pair of people embracing each other. So it's like kind of like a flower. These are the petals, like a flower of loving partnerships. So you can partner with yourself and partner with spirit. Be open to receiving everything that life has to offer by releasing what's in your past, what's no longer serving you, what's confusing the crap out of you. Next up we have the Wheel of Fortune, followed by the Hangman and the Two of Swords. So this is about making a decision, needing to make a decision, and needing to take time to reflect, to go within, to listen for messages from your own intuition, which is how your guides speak with you. In this image, it's a honeypot ant. And the story behind the honeypot ant is, it seems so sad, probably because I'm not a honeypot ant, but these ants, I believe they live in the desert, and there's like limited food or water supply, and so these worker ants, once they have, I guess, eaten enough, they're moved to the top of the nest or the hive, where they spend the rest of their lives feeding the other ants. So this is about taking a different perspective. This Hangman especially is about taking a different perspective on your situation, releasing your past, knowing that there is more out there than what you have known. Maybe it's a loved one that you need to let go. Maybe it's a part of yourself that you need to love more, because it's something big. The Wheel of Fortune, it's like a whole new way of living once you release this past. It's such a beautiful combination. And then we have the Two of Swords, so this is about needing to make a decision. And then we have the Lovers again. So more than anything, I think that this spread is about loving yourself, learning to embrace all aspects of yourself, recognizing your faults, recognizing where you're being too hard on yourself, just loving yourself, really. Because all parts of ourselves are worth loving, because we're human. It's part of being human is messing up, but also part of being human is learning from our mistakes and just trying to do better. We are like just very resilient beings. Next line we have the King of Pentacles, Page of Cups, followed by the Sun. So for me, this King of Pentacles, he has everything. He knows what he wants. He knows what he has. He's got like a crew, people just waiting. He's worked hard for this pot of gold, pile of gold, sack of gold. He even has a little squirrel friend here. This is your Wheel of Fortune. And this could be you, this could be somebody else, but the way that I read the Lovers is always with you. I feel like you need to be your own lover first, and then once you are, you can meet this King of Pentacles, because you will also be a King of Pentacles, so you will find each other. And then we have the Page of Cups. This page is kind of like a selfish page. Like he's drinking the last of the water. But then again, it's also about this hangman. So taking a new perspective on the way that we view things. So in this image, if you didn't know the like backstory behind it, maybe looking, I would assume that he was being selfish and they're really thirsty. But maybe it's not as bad, or it's not as like right or wrong. I don't know what the word is. Maybe it's not the situation that we're perceiving it to be. Maybe she just gave him the cup and he's like finishing off the last of the water because, like, you know, I don't know, they're friends or something. There you see like two dolphins in the background. And it's so funny. It's so similar to the Lovers right here. How they're looking at each other. And the two dolphins are jumping up and looking at each other. And then right here, you have the Lovers again looking at each other. And here in the Two of Swords, it's two, and you see one bird, and he's like on the other side, or she's on the other side, and there's no partner. So it's needing to make a decision about loving yourself. This is my cat Gia. She's sweet. Didn't move. And right after that, we have the Sun. She blessed your reading. That means it's very lucky. The Sun followed by the Strength card, the Lion. So this is a brand new perspective on life. The Sun right here is also this so similar to this fire in the Strength card. It's like your inner fire. Find your inner fire. Because after that we have the Three of Cups. Celebration. Teamwork. Working together with others. It's all on the other side once you release the past. And it's so easy to say, and so hard for us to do it, because a lot of the times we don't even realize we're doing that, right? It's the little things. Your underlying energy here is Strength in reverse. So here we have Strength upright, but the underlying for this entire spread is Strength in reverse. So that is needing to know that you are strong enough, that you are worth loving, that you are whole enough to be ready for this new beginning. This Hangman, I think, is about getting a new perspective on the choices that maybe we have made up until now, how everything mean, I think that you could say that the hangman is learning to appreciate the lessons that we have gained from our past experiences, however we perceive them. Strength in reverse. And then your motivational affirmation is, my life works beautifully. On the back, everything in my life works now and forevermore. So beautiful. And here we have a sun again. I just noticed the sun, and then we have another sun, and we have another sun. It looks like a sun. And then from far away, maybe that looks like a sun as well, the Wheel of Fortune. So there's so much good stuff coming for you guys. Just have to let go. Let go of some things. If it's making you like really unhappy, and there's like maybe something crazy that you've always wanted to do, and you just know it in your gut that that is what is for you. Something that you feel very strongly about, and it kind of makes you a little bit scared, but also makes you like very excited. I feel like that's a good combination of knowing that you should do something. But always remember that it's your life, and you should never take anybody else's advice that doesn't already resonate with you. If that makes sense. So you know best. And then your animal totem guide is the beaver. Look how happy he is. Beavers, they work hard. They are perceived as, coming back to the hangman, you know, beavers are not very liked in a lot of areas because they totally change the way that the water flows, because that's how they build their houses, that's how they catch their food. They build their dams. But getting a hangman's perspective on it, the beaver is such a cool creature. Like, it can literally cut down trees with its teeth. Like, humans can't do that. Most animals can't do that. And then it knows how to carry them, and like they live in a den. Like, what is it called? Den. Is it a den? Anyways, they live in a dam. Maybe there's a den inside of the dam, but that hangman's perspective gives you a totally new way of looking at the beaver, a new appreciation for the beaver. And I think that maybe this group, we can learn a lot from seeing our situation differently, and look to the beaver for advice on how they do that. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys. I hope that this was helpful in some way, and see you next time. Hey, pile number 2. So for those of you who chose the red jasper, the overall message for your reading, we have the miser, the burden, and experiencing. So the miser is a card of protecting what we have, maybe being a little bit overprotective of those material possessions or parts of ourselves that we feel like others won't accept, maybe, or appreciate. So we are extra, we hold these parts of ourselves close to ourselves, and we never show them to others. With the burden, it's like your guides are telling you that you don't need to be so defensive or so protective of these parts of yourselves, that you can open up and allow life to work with you. See how she is also behind something. The miser is behind a brick wall that she is kind of become part of. But in this experiencing card, she is behind a tree, and it's like she's dancing with the tree. Next we have the Nine of Cups, also known as the Wish card, followed by the King of Wands and the Ace of Cups. So with the King of Wands and the Nine of Cups, this King of Wands, the Wands are about passion and going for what you want and embracing, I would say, embracing life's opportunities. So this is about being open to the blessings and your wishes coming true, being open to a new beginning in creativity, in emotions, with yourself or with others. Here we have the Eight of Wands in reverse. This is a kind of a halting of movement forward. We have the burden as well. So once you release this burden, whether it's a part of yourself or maybe a connection you have with other people or something that maybe we're doing that isn't really best for us, it's like these things can come through. And the King of Wands, he's not actively, in this card, he's not depicted as actually like taking any action. He's pretty relaxed looking, if you ask me. He has his wand and he's just a little bit protective over it, but he's also kind of sprawled out and his crown isn't even on. It's like he knows that he's the King of Wands, but he doesn't need to show it all the time. He doesn't need to hold it so close to himself. He can just have that inner knowing. And such good things are coming to you. This card is so abundant. It's like overflowing with creativity. It's like dripping out of the cup. All of the flowers. Such a sunny day. Compared to, see all the darkness in this. It's like, it's cloudy. And in this burden card, it's almost as if your guides are telling you that the sun is trying to rise. Maybe the sun is setting or the sun is rising on holding on to these things that we are holding on to. And it's so hard to let go of parts of ourselves, especially if, we've always been like that, or if our family has been like that. We're not even aware that we are acting in those ways, but it may be related to like withholding of emotions. The King of Cups in reverse, along with the Nine of Swords. Maybe allowing some of our creativity to come through emotionally, or to relax our control over our emotions. The King of Cups in reverse, normally upright, the King of Cups is balanced in his emotions as well as his intellect. So since he's in reverse, it could mean that in some cases maybe we are being too controlling over our emotions, what we allow through, or it could mean that we are out of balance in our emotions, whether we are too emotional, which is it could be causing us to not be seeing our situations clearly and not be making decisions that are actually, I guess, more holistic, is that the word? Better for us in ways that are not just our emotions, how we feel about something. Emotions are so important, but I guess we are being asked to not let our emotions guide our every move. Here in this card, it's like the sun has risen and she's like so sad. She's just so sad and mourning these 9 swords that are on the ground that she's had a ceremony around. But I imagine that this is one of your guides who's just always there next to you, protecting you. Next up we have the Judgment card and 3 of Pentacles. So Judgment is about a rebirth. And here in this Judgment card, she's in the same position as in the 9 of Swords, which is about anxieties or fears. So letting go of your fears and allowing yourself to be reborn. See how this hand is pointing to her rebirth. And this 3 of Pentacles, which is about collaboration and learning, teaching. He's also pointing to the seeds. So it's like whatever this seed was for the King of Cups in reverse, whether it's a part of you, it's usually a part of us that's reflected into our relationships with others. So that's how I read them. If it's a part of you that maybe needs to be dropped, the burden, and allowed to be reborn. Here we have more abundance. It's like this is the limiting thing. This burden is limiting from a new creative beginning, relating to your feelings. Maybe it's a new creative beginning relating to how we process and express our feelings. Maybe our emotions were out of balance earlier because we couldn't see the situation clearly. Maybe we had too much other stuff going on in our minds or in our lives. Maybe we need to downsize. I mean, everybody's situation is different. And of course, only take what resonates. But the Three of Pentacles followed by the King of Swords. King of Swords is all about mental and intellectual precision. He's not a page, he's not a knight, he's the King of Swords. And see this dog sitting next to him, or this wolf. It's the same wolf or dog, maybe another guide, the one who's always been with you. And how his swords have been upgraded. It's like through this rebirth, the swords have been upgraded to just like one giant sword. And he knows. He doesn't even need to get up. He just knows. Your underlying energy for this reading is the Queen of Wands. So, similar to the King of Wands, and similar to the King of Cups in reverse, your underlying energy is to come into balance with your feelings and the way that maybe we process emotions, to take charge of them. I'm not sure if that's the right word, to be decisive about it. The King of Swords again. How they're just sitting there with their animals. Queen of Wands, it's about independence. She knows her worth. Beautiful. And here we have your affirmation. It's only a thought, and the thought can be changed. I am not limited by any past thinking. I choose my thoughts with care. I constantly have new insights and new ways of looking at my world. I'm willing to change and grow. And this is part of your rebirth with the Judgment. Nine of Swords to the Judgment to the Three of Pentacles. This is just like such a beautiful transformation. Just allow this to happen. It's so much easier said than done. But we can just do our best, because here we have the turtle as your animal totem guide. The turtle is just one step at a time. And it may look like you're going really slow, like the turtle and the hare, tortoise and the hare, turtle and the tortoise and the hare. But you have everything that you need, because the turtle is protected. It always has its home with them. So similar to the miser, it's this barrier, but knowing that our barrier can be a little bit more flexible. And then we don't always need to be behind it. We can move with life, we can experience life and go into our shell if we need to. But we don't always need to be in our shell. And I think that's what your guides are asking you to be more receptive to. So anyways, I hope that this helped you guys, and take care. See you next. Hey, group number 3. So this is for everybody who chose the pile with the Elite Shungite. The overall message for your reading, we have the outsider, turning in, and transformation. So the outsider is about feeling like you don't belong, feeling like you're different from others. Maybe parts of you are not accepted by others. Maybe you can't be all of who you want to be when you're around certain people. And in this reading, it seems like your guides are asking you to take some time away and to take some time away from all of these voices. I'm not sure if these faces are showing up, but from all of the influences around you, and to find that inner water, those inner feelings, the emotions within you. And in doing so, allow yourself to be transformed by this experience. So we have the phoenix, the snake shedding its skin, and it's like this person is rising from the face down here. They're like becoming a whole new person, but still touching the face. So it's like they're growing from this face, which wasn't allowed to be all of the face. See, it's only like a side profile. Can you see that in the picture? And in this part of the image, he's all of himself, or she is all of their self. You can see the full body. Next up we have the Hermit, followed by the Death card. So the Hermit just re-emphasizing how we need to turn in and find ourselves, away from the influences of others, away from how maybe we've always done things, and allow that part of ourselves to be transformed. The Death card is very similar to the Transformation card. Chariot, followed by the Eight of Cups. See how both the orca and the salmon are both like jumping out of the water and like flying through the air in this stream. It's like once you turn in and you find this part of yourself, you'll be able to jump out of these feelings, this part of yourself. And how the salmon is driven by instinct, how they know how to migrate back to the same place that they were born, even though it's like so hard. It's this instinct inside of you that's always been there, and that maybe we haven't been allowed to embrace or accept or even acknowledge, but it's always with us, and it's a strong force. It's the orca. Very powerful. The Hermit, again, reminding us that it's okay to take time away. It's okay to even to step away from overanalyzing our problems, to maybe sleep on it, knowing that the sun will rise again, how the sun is shining in this card. The Hermit is about going into the darkness to find the answers to our problems. Not problems, maybe challenges. Next up, we have the Ace of Cups, followed by the Seven of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is a brand new endeavor, a creative expression. But the fact that it's followed by the Seven of Cups means it seems that your guides are asking you to be wary of any illusions, which is why it is so important for you to not rush this process of turning in. So we have turning in, which is the same as the Hermit, and then we have the Hermit again. So this, and then we actually have the Hermit again, right here. So it's very important not to rush this time, and not to think that maybe we are ready before we have accurately taken a balanced look at what we are facing. And maybe not being in our head all the time, but not being in our emotions all the time. It's trusting yourself. Because sometimes we can think that we are done, or maybe it's too painful to keep being in this darkness, and we rush off in a direction. And when we start rushing, this chariot is very, very powerful, so we can rush really fast in a direction that maybe won't be the actual direction that would be most nourishing or healing for us. If we don't take the time to actually understand it. Here we have the Page of Swords. This is cutting through to the truth of who you want to be, how you want your life to be. She's a page though, so she's not a queen, she's not a knight or a king. So she's still learning, and it's okay. I think your guides are telling you that it's okay, you're still learning. We're all still learning. Always learning. It never ends. See how this hermit, he's guided by a light that he's holding. So not only are we holding the light, but I think that we also need to be aware that nothing is going to last forever. That this time of transformation, it might seem like it's never going to end. And that's usually how it feels for some time, especially if you have the hermit 3 times in the reading and then the transformation and turning in. It seems like it may be a little bit longer than we are hoping for. And that's part of it. And not to be disillusioned. I'm not sure if that's the word. Not to be deceived by ourselves and thinking that it's supposed to go faster or anything, because once we really have a good grasp on the situation at hand, we'll be able to make the right steps towards real stability. Queen of Pentacles, it's very nourishing, it's very healing, it's very maternal and protective, and I think that this is what is inside of us all. Whether you're a male or female, or identify as male or female, we all have masculine and feminine energies within all of us. Queen of Pentacles right here. Your underlying energy is the Page of Pentacles. So, with the Hermit coming up so many times in this reading, I think it is your guides are asking you to know that you have a Queen of Pentacles inside of you, even if it doesn't feel like you do. Even if sometimes life sucks, there's a part of you that has this knowing, and once you see it, once you see maybe the benefits of being the outsider, I think that your life will change. I think the Page of Pentacles right here is asking you to not expect yourself to be the Queen of Pentacles. Maybe you've had a few glimpses of the Queen of Pentacles inside of you, but to be patient with yourself at this time. Know that you need to take time. You need to take enough time to make sure that you know yourself and that you can create a solid foundation for yourself. Maybe not relying on others to come save you. I know that I have been guilty of that in the past, that we all can save ourselves. And here we have your affirmation is, I trust my inner wisdom. As I go about my daily affairs, I listen to my guidance, my own guidance. My intuition is always on my side. I trust it to be there at all times. I am safe. That's beautiful. That's knowing that you have a Queen of Pentacles inside of you. And here we have your animal totem guide is the buffalo, which is so beautiful and so powerful. Just like we have the chariot, which is with the orcas, and even the salmon, how they can swim upstream, like through those rapids, and like her sword, it's not like a regular sword. It's not like a, I don't know, a butter knife or something. It's like, this is a real sword. And the Ace of Cups, there's so much power behind you. You just have to make sure that you're not deceiving yourself. That you know that you have this power within you. You have the buffalo. And how this is like a lightning. I imagine this to be like a spark of like intuition or knowing. This is like your inner wisdom with the buffalo. This is like very beautiful animal totem to be getting. But okay, guys, I hope that this helped, and take care. See you next time. Hey, group number 3. So this is for everybody who chose the rose quartz. The overall message for your reading, we have totality, playfulness, and beyond illusion. So totality, this card is about being all there in every moment. So it's not getting caught up in your head and about things that have happened in the past, maybe things that will happen in the future. These acrobats are totally there. They're all focused. If they have any lapse of judgment, maybe they might miss. So they just need to be totally present. And it seems that your guides are asking you to embrace totality in order to see how you can incorporate or be open to maybe receiving more of the joy that is surrounding you. The colors are very similar. And you see how this is just like one dot. It's like as soon as you are there for one dot, one moment, all of these other moments become available to you. See all these little spots as well. And once you see all of these other opportunities for playfulness or for embracing more joy into your daily life, that would be considered beyond illusion. Seeing beyond illusion, see all of these dots. And there's actually a face within the butterfly. The butterfly representing the outside, the external, and the face is the internal. Maybe seeing who you really are inside. Maybe seeing beyond the illusion of what others may be presenting to the outside and seeing them for how they really are. Next up we have Temperance, along with the Star and the Tower. So let's just go through these 3. There's a similar arcing of this lightning strike that you see in the Tower. So you can see the arcing of the rainbow, the arcing from the clam or the oyster shell into the water. So it's like this tower moment, once you're able to be totally there, embrace totality in every moment, or as many moments as you can. Just start with one moment. Just take a deep breath and hold it, and then exhale, and just see what you see, how you feel, what's actually bothering us at this very moment. Sometimes we worry about things that don't actually end up coming true, or sometimes we worry about things and then manifest them to becoming true because we're thinking about it so much. And we all do that. It's part of being human. But I think with temperance, you guys are asking you to have one foot in the water and one foot in the air. So the water representing your emotions, your feelings, and the air representing your mind, your intellect. And this bird isn't quite flying, but it could. It's how its wings are open a little bit. It's hard to catch that on camera. With the rainbow in the back, it's just, I think, reiterating the playfulness from earlier. The Star, a brand new beginning in every aspect. It's like a wish come true. But knowing that You need to be prepared to embrace your wish and actually act towards that wish if you are presented with that. So a lot of people, sometimes we really want something to happen, but once it happens, we are like, am I ready for this? Can I really do this? And I think your guides are telling you that, yes, you absolutely can. With the Ten of Wands, you have reached the end of this cycle, the end of the Wands. You're at the 10. And it's time for something new. With the Four of Swords upright, it's representing like a need to take a step back, to recuperate. You see your guides are all around you. I perceive them as your guides, these dogs protecting the guy. How it's in reverse along with the Nine of Pentacles. I'm getting the message that maybe you might be a little bit bored with your situation and you're ready to jump on this squirrel. See how she's holding a squirrel right here. And she's like behind this fortress, kind of, all of these bricks, stones. And it's like, I've had enough. Let's do this. I see my wish. I know that this has come to an end, whatever this cycle is. I'm seeing beyond the illusion. I see how many opportunities are available to me now. All these little white dots. Before, maybe it starts with just seeing one little white dot. And then opening yourself up to more. Being able to see more. Being able to be still enough or receptive enough to hear these messages from our guides through our synchronicities and people that we meet in our daily lives, things that we are passionate about, things that we are drawn to. I think that's how we will know. And how we will be able to be decisive about it. See the Queen of Swords. She's a queen, so the queens are typically perceived as more empathetic or emotional, less, not like the kings are straight analytical, very clear and decisive. The queen has a little bit more of her femininity and emotions involved. And I think that's what your guides are asking you. So have temperance when you're making this decision, when your dreams do come true, when you're presented with the star, because you have seen all the opportunities available to you. Then your guides are asking you to have a little bit of have a lot of balance between yourself. See, this is the full rainbow now. In this temperance card, we have half of the rainbow. But it's when you come into balance with yourself and you are, I always interpret the lovers as you, because we are all love and we have to love ourselves fully, embrace ourselves fully before we'll ever find somebody who can even see that. If we don't see that, how can other people see that? Because the people that we attract into our lives, we reflect back to each other what we need in order to heal. Then you have the lovers again. And then this is your underlying card. The underlying card for your reading is the lovers. So I think it's definitely, your guides are definitely asking you to love yourself. And that's so easy to say, but it starts with just being here. Just being here right now. And then lightening up a little bit. Maybe sometimes we get so serious, especially if we have problems going on. Like, oh man, I really need to figure this out. I wanna just move forward in my life, but it's just one step at a time. And you have the lovers twice. And then this is your affirmation card. I experience love wherever I go. How beautiful is that? Love is everywhere, and I am loving and lovable. Loving people fill my life, and I find myself easily expressing love to others. And your animal totem guide is the owl. And I'm just being drawn to so many birds in this reading. We have the owl, we have the bird eggs, we have these two, I think they are cranes or herons. In this lover's card, we have the flamingo over here. Yeah. And these people are flying, birds fly, and there's a butterfly. So, yeah, you've reached the end of this. Whatever this cycle is, whatever this big change is. And none of these birds are really flying. And I think that's because your guides are asking you to know when is the right time. The owl, when they do fly, they are totally silent. That's one of like the coolest things about owls. When they're hunting, you can't hear their feathers like flapping or their wings flapping or their feathers rustling. So it's like you will know when the right time is to take this action, because you will be seeing all of the opportunities. And just be balanced about knowing that whatever cycle you're in has ended, you have come to the end of the line with that. And for you to be clear and decisive about what it is you want, still being temperate, is that the word? Still being balanced. And then you have the rose quartz again. It's very similar to the lovers. So it's beautiful reading, you guys. I hope that this helped, and I will see you next time. Hey everybody who chose pile number 5, you have the black kyanite. Black kyanite is great for aligning your chakras, grounding. It's a little bit protective as well, the black coloring. So your message, your overall message from your guides, we have fighting, control, and isolation. Okay, so this fighting card is generally about internal conflict. Of course, our internal conflict is always reflected into our external reality. But with the control and the isolation, this is about maybe being a little bit overprotective of the things that hurt inside, the parts of ourselves that are really crying for help, for love and nurturing. Feeling like we can't show these parts of ourselves to the outside world. See his armor and the spikes on his wrists. He's like ready to fight at any second. But in the background, I'm not sure if it's showing up on camera, there are these two clouds and these two people struggling with one another. And the clouds also in the background of the control card, it's like an overlap, same as with the isolation card. So it's like feeling like maybe we need to control parts of our emotions, maybe not let others know how we really feel, maybe not even admit to ourselves how we really feel, because a lot of times when something hurts so much, we don't even want to acknowledge it. Just like, oh, I'll just get over it. I don't want to deal with this. I have other things to worry about. And then over time, this defensive mechanism that we have, because we don't feel trusting of others, we feel like we have to be the only one that we can trust, it tends to isolate us. And it's like the rust from his armor, it's like the same color as these tears that this guy is crying. So it's like the armor wants to come off. Your guides are asking you to let the armor come off. In some cases, not with everybody, not in all circumstances. Only you know best. Really, this is just general guidance. Next up, we have the Sun, followed by the Seven of Wands. The Sun, coming right after the isolation, is kind of like a melting away of these parts. Either it's might be a part of yourself, part of ourselves that we feel like we can't show others, part of ourselves that we need to control, feeling like maybe all of these wands are pointing at us. And we just have to be on the defensive all the time. But your guides are asking you to let the sun come in, to melt away this ice, the isolation. To know that it's not always about being defensive. Sometimes you can put your tail down. You don't need to spray them with your skunk smell. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. Sometimes if we jump to conclusions, we can kind of create that situation, even though the other person or part of ourselves had no intention of even going there. But the isolation and control and fighting, it's so much mental. So a lot of it is a part of our thinking, oftentimes. Part of our thinking that hurts. Maybe changing our perception. We have the Queen of Pentacles. And I love that this Queen of Pentacles is a pig, and she's lying down in the mud, just like enjoying herself. She's so grounded, and the sun is shining. We have flowers all around her. She's so abundant. The Queen of Pentacles is such a nurturing card. Peaceful. And it's like that part of you inside that wants to be nurtured. By yourself, really. You have to nurture yourself. To acknowledge this part within you that hurts, that has passed on Three of Swords. We actually have the Three of Swords twice. So Three of Swords and Three of Swords again. So this is double confirmation from your guides. You need to acknowledge what's actually hurting you. And don't try to control your reaction. Sometimes we can be hurt by something that seems so like trivial. But with the Hangman, we have the Wheel of Fortune. It's actually something large that is impacting multiple areas of your life. This one pain is kind of spiraling out into many facets, and that's kind of how a lot of things go. But with the Hanged Man, it's like your guides are asking you to take a new perspective, to maybe see that, to some people, or maybe if you're not a pig, that seems like, why would you want to lay in like a mud bath? That seems like so gross or whatever. But like, it's actually pretty fun if you're a pig, and it's pretty relaxing. So maybe seeing a new perspective on situations where you don't need to be so defensive or to have control. And it's okay to make mistakes. Like, she's not totally clean. It's okay to make mistakes. Here we have the Star. Star, same like open hands, as see how this sun and this star both have open hands, embracing the new opportunity. It's like once you're able to identify that inner conflict that you're trying to control, we won't need to be so like closed gripped about it, so defensive about it. Both of these people have their hands in fists, ready to fight. It's like they're ready to fight. But your guides are asking you, you don't need to fight. You can let go a little bit. And it's okay to not know where the next turn of the wheel is going to take you. But just know that when you release this, whatever this control is, she doesn't maybe not know where this, what is it, a hawk? This hawk is flying off to, or falcon. And see how this falcon has nothing, it's not holding anything. But this falcon coming in, and there's even another one behind her, this one is bringing a gift. It's like making space for new opportunities by letting go of what hurts. And we do this unconsciously too. This is like, I don't know if it's a human thing or if it's like a society thing. Like, we just suppress these parts of ourselves that are hurting, and it comes out in like the strangest ways. We have your underlying messages, the Six of Cups, which is so beautiful. Six of Cups is about joy, like happiness with another person, happiness with yourself, playfulness, above all, it's playfulness. The two lemurs. And your affirmation is, I am totally adequate for all situations. I am one with the power and wisdom of the universe. I claim this power, and it is easy for me to stand up for myself. This is so beautiful. This fighting, control, isolation, and knowing through this experience, you will know when is the right time for you to stand up for yourself, and also to let your guard down. Because by standing up for yourself and being you and you for so long or so short, however it is in your situation, it may have made you not as aware of the abundance around you, and that there are others out there who would love to collaborate with you. The Six of Cups. But this is letting go of the pain. Letting go of the pain. You really have to let go of the pain. I guess it would be being aware of the pain first. And why do we have this reaction? And then why do we have that reaction? It's like why, until you get down to like the real why. And a lot of times it's rooted in like just a very like simple, not as simple, but one singular thing that kind of just navigates its way throughout our lives. Here we have the tarantula as your animal guide. How the tarantula is kind of being a little bit defensive over the sun. Your guides are asking you that through this experience you will know when it is okay to step away from this. You see this like yellow. To step away and let yourself be thawed out by the sun. And when you need to protect your sun, protect yourself. But it will be helping you to get a new perspective on things, especially with the Hangman and the Queen of Pentacles. I think this is one of the strongest messages for me in this reading. It's like get a new perspective on your situation, how you're perceiving things. I think is one of the strongest ways that we can change, or just to be aware of something that hurts us, is to help ourselves to understand this situation from a different angle and maybe how it could benefit us. And maybe this fighting, control, isolation, fear kind of reactions are from maybe feeling like you weren't adequate for all situations, especially when we were kids. You know, a lot of things are out of our control, and we feel like you're just, whatever happens because I'm a kid. But most of us aren't kids anymore, and we are a lot more powerful than we have been told. And there's no real like end point to when you can start being you and start taking control of your life and not having to be so afraid of others ruling your lives, like when you're in school and stuff like that, or in the workplace. We have a lot more freedom, I think, than we realize. Freedom. You have so many powerful cards: the Wheel of Fortune, Hangman, Star, Queen of Pentacles, the Sun. So it's like this pain. But anyways, guys, I hope that this helped, and I will see you next time. Thank you.